Okay, so the first thing I did, or I got, was this tinfoil. I believe you can get these at the dollar store or any other store. It's just tinfoil. So I just grabbed a small little piece of it. I made it into like this ball because I'm trying to make this like the core of the horns. And after that, I grabbed this paper bag. If you don't have paper bags, you can always use paper. I think that could also work. So I just got this. I wrap it around it so it create like a small little ball. And then after that, I just grab more tinfoil. So I got that bag that I did into a ball. Then I put it into like the middle of it, and I just wrap it around really nice until I created kind of like an egg shape, as you guys can see here. And this one is just gonna be the bottom layer of the horn. So now I got myself another bag. If you don't have a bag, you can always use paper. But on this one, I'm not going to put tinfoil in the inside. I'm just going to wrap it around because this is going to be the top layer. So I grab myself a piece of tinfoil. Started to wrap it around again. Now I have both pieces, and both of them, they kind of have like this egg shape thing. One of them is bigger than the other one, so there's that. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get more tinfoil, but this one's gonna be a lot longer. So now that I got the long piece of tinfoil, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to place these two things. Make sure that I paste the bigger one in one side and the other one just like that. And I put it along the edge. So right now what I'm going to do, I'm going to wrap it around like it was like a burrito or something like that. Or like a tortilla or something like that. So I'm just going to wrap it around just like that. And now what I'm trying to do is trying to make like a pointy part on top, as you guys see right here. And this where it kind of creates sort of to a horn, which it kind of like doesn't really look like 100% like a horn. It kind of looks like a branch that you just cut down from the tree, and it kind of resembles a horn, but still, that's the inside of it. So as you guys see, this horn is kind of like a little bit more flimsy on top. Just no bueno. So one of the things that I did is that I actually ended up getting more tinfoil to put it on top to kind of like really make it more durable. So now that I got done putting tinfoil, now there are places right here where it's like the tinfoil didn't look. So what I'm going to do is get small little pieces of tinfoil balls, and I'm just going to go ahead, just going to put them in there to kind of shape it up. And then I used duct tape to kind of hold them into place. You can glue them if you want to, but since it is tinfoil, the heat might get contact and it might get like really, it might get a little hot. So I just use tape to kind of like mold it. And what I'm doing is that areas where I feel like they're not, you know, there's no like stuff, I just get small pieces of like tinfoil to kind of like really shape up the entire thing. It's kind of like the idea of working with clay, but instead of clay, it's like tinfoil and tape. So yeah, it's more cheaper method, I guess. And then after that, I started to, as you guys see on this time lapse or this quick shot of it. I grab a whole bunch of tape and I just tape up the entire thing. As you guys see here, I just put tape all over that. Now I stopped within the middle part because now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get tape, and now I'm gonna go ahead and cut that piece of tape to make like really skinny pieces of tape, and this is where I start, to tape up the top part of it. So the bottom part is big chunks of tape, and the top part is skinny pieces of tape, just so it can get a really even match. Okay, so now I got done with everything. This is how it looks like. And like I said, the bottom piece is covered up with big pieces of tape, and the top skinny pieces. Now I'm going to get this, which is a foam. I got this for $1 at the Michaels. Then I ended up cutting it into like long rectangular pieces. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut them. I'm going to cut like triangle spikes. They kind of look like teeth. But I did leave a little bit in the bottom because that's where the glue is going to be. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and kind of measure the top part of this to see if it'll fit. And then I'm just going to go ahead and cut that piece out. And now I'm going to get my glue gun, glue the bottom piece, and kind of like glue that into place. So now that I got done doing that, essentially what I'm doing is that I'm still repeating the same process, but I'm overlapping it every single time. So I cut a piece of rectangle, I make the spikes again, and then I just like kind of measure it and put glue on it. Like right here I'm putting glue, and I'm just doing it. Now, as you guys seen, the top part are actually small pieces, as you guys see. Essentially what I'm doing here, I'm just like overlapping all the pieces. So all the top part pieces are all small, and now I'm getting to like the place where I'm gonna do the same idea, but this time I'm gonna make the pieces a lot larger, meaning I'm gonna cut more bigger rectangles, and then making those pointed teeth a lot bigger now, so I could get from really small to medium size to kind of like big size, if that makes any sense. And I'm still overlapping them. Looks like. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put this thing called Modge Pod. I got the matte version. You can also get the gloss. It doesn't really matter. But this thing is basically it's a sealer, and that really does help with the foam to paint and stuff like that. Mine, I couldn't open it, so I just cut it like this because I've used it a lot and it was gonna run out. So I used a paintbrush to actually just paint. Paint the entire thing. Now when you look at it, it does look like glue, but once it gets dry, it will end up looking kind of clear. So one of the things that I did like 3 coats of it, and this is the final result of it. It looks kind of a little bit glossy, but this really does help to paint when it comes to like foam. This is the type of spray can I use, the gloss. You can also use a matte version of it. So yeah, so there's that. I decided to go with the matte version just because it looks cool. If you wanna like at this point, you can actually add more details. To me, I decided to paint it black, but this is the point where you add details, which you add like designs and everything like this. So there's that. So now once you get done doing the detail and the design, in order to get those detailed designs to stay there, one of the things that you could use is this is called like lacquer. This is what it is, and this one right here is actually for like any glossy things. For instance, if the design you're making is some metallic, gold or whatever, you use this type of sealer, which it will help, which is going to be a glossy type of sealer, which is great if you're doing something shiny. Now if you're going to do something that's more like a matte finish, or you want it to look more like, you know, like a stone or something like that, and you don't have a shine, you'll use that one where it says matte finish. And these two are basically the finishers. So everything could be in place. Now the other thing that you can also use is you can use this. Okay, so now we're gonna get into like how to place these things into your head. That's one thing that kind of failed upon doing this, because that's like the hardest part of it, and that was like one of the things that I just blatantly forgot. That should have been the first thing I would have done. So you could use something like this. This is a thing that you put on your head. I bought this at the dollar store, but it was very cheap, so it didn't work for me. But you can if you find one that's good or whatever. And yeah, this is how the finishing product looks like. I already put the what's it called, the matte spray can and whatever, and it's just finished. And I think it came out looking pretty good. So there's that. But one of the things I want to put this thing on is to put it on my hat. So one of the things that I did is I grabbed this, which is like a small little saw thing. I don't know what it's called. You can buy these things at Home Depot. It's supposed to be the blade that you put into like a power tool, something like that. But instead of me using the power tool, I just took it off. I'll probably put a link in the description to see what it is. You're probably thinking, but it's like one of those things that kind of like using, because the grid, I mean the teeth, you know, the points are very pointy. It really does work when it comes to like certain areas. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna cut, you know, the horns into like a slanted line, so it could be like, you know, an angle when I put them inside my hat. So now one of the things I did right here is that I actually made a hole in the inside of the horns of it, and then I put a glue gun. I put a little bit of glue in my hot glue gun. Then I actually folded a paper clip and stabbed it inside, so it could have these two little points coming out, so then I can like actually put it onto something. And then after that, I found a black old hat that I have, and one of the things that I saw is that it had like these smaller tiny holes. A lot of hats have this, so one of the things that I did, I took advantage of that. So what I did is that I grabbed those with a paper clip and actually threaded it inside, and it kind of like opened them up, separate them on the inside. So there's that, and that's how it looks like. Okay, so this is how it ended up looking like, as you guys can see. It's like this. I threaded into that smaller hole that the hat has. Now, as you guys see, right here, kind of looks kind of cool. I still have to make the other one though, so you guys, because with one you probably can't really see that well. But you guys see right here, it's actually, these things actually clean apart. It's kind of flimsy and stuff like that. One of the things you can do is buy some fabric glue, glue it in here, put this thing into place like that, and that will work. So there's that part. Now the other part you can also do is that you can get a piece of foam that's way thicker than this and create this sort of design and just glue inside here, and then that's going to create a ring on the bottom. You can also glue that here if you want to do that. But other than that, I think it came out looking pretty cool.